boxing fans? Being Boxing News is in the building. Yes, yes, yes. Controversy, controversy, controversy. Yeah, there's a lot of talk this morning about who actually won the fight last night with Devin Haney, excuse me, versus Vasil Lomachenko. Yes, I kind of lost my voice last night. You have to be a real boxing fan to score this particular fight. You had to, what's going on with you, Luke Skywalker? You had to be a real boxing fan to see and know exactly what happened. I'm hearing the word robbery being used. To me, it's a little offensive, to hear the word robbery being used with a fight of this caliber. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna start off by saying, hey, it was not a robbery. And most people, like myself, you have to look at a fight twice to make a conscious decision on who actually won it. Okay? But just from the eye test last night, if I had to say, hey, who won the fight? I'll say this. I'm going to start off early by telling you what I thought and what I saw last night. I'll say this. This fight could have went either way. This fight could have went either way. And I'm going to tell you why. And it's my whole reason for this video. I got people like Iceman in here. I'm gonna post what you just said, Iceman. And I got you. I got to hear me out. You got to hear me out. I think that Devin Haney won the fight. And I'm going to tell you why I think Devin Haney won the fight, okay? I'm going to tell you my reasoning why behind the whole deal and why it was not a robbery. It wasn't a robbery because if you actually looked at the fight last night and you know the rules of boxing, you realize that some of the early rounds were so close. They was very, very, very close. They was what's called swing rounds. And what a lot of Fairweather fans are looking at is how Lomachenko was coming on later in the rounds. So their whole deal was the last 15 to 10 seconds in the round, Lomachenko was coming on. We all know, and I know what I was seeing was Lomachenko was fighting in spots. And definitely the last few seconds of the rounds, he would try to throw some combinations to try to seal a deal with the rounds. But within the entire round, Devin Haney was bodying him, hitting him with those nice clear body shots in those early rounds. So I would say this, ever in doubt, with a swing round, a very, very close round, it has to go to the champion. Who's the champion in this case? Devin Haney. I would say earlier in the fight, Devin Haney was throwing the more cleaner shots, the body shots, the shots, the money shots. Let's call them money shots. So that's why you had those earlier rounds, you got to give them to Devin Haney. Okay? Devin Haney fought a hell of a fight earlier, So that's my little take on that. And then I'll start explaining the rest of it. Iceman said Lomachenko won. I picked Haney, but Lomachenko won that fight. 9-3, 8-4. Shit, come on, man. You killed him. Golly. Iceman, you wear glasses? Shit. Skywalker said facts. Not a robbery. Going to rescore it again. That's what real people do. That's what I'm going to do. I had Loma edging it, but going to rescore. Okay? Got to rescore it. Skywalker said Rolly was a robbery last week. Now, something like that definitely was a robbery. So, and that's what I'm trying to say, Skywalker. The beginning of the fight definitely was for Haney. The second half of the fight, Lomachenko did do much better. And Lomachenko even said the last round, this fight was going to be a draw. But Lomachenko took his foot off the gas and let Haney win the 12th round. And that's why it was a 15-13 by those two judges. If Lomachenko would have won that 12th round, he did win the 10th and 11th. If he'd have won that 12th round, It was going to be 114 would have been a draw, majority draw, but he did not. He took his foot off the gas. Very, 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 very close fight, bro. That fight could have went any way. And like I said, you had to really be boxing enthusiast. You have to really know boxing and understand exactly what happened there. It's popping what you just do. Man, you got a hell of a show, boy. I'm on your shit every day while I'm at work. Just to listen to you cook, man. I appreciate you, Just Do. I definitely appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. So, last night, man, I was watching a fight. Very close fight. Very controversial fight. I get it. But to call it a robbery, you cannot call that shit a robbery, bro, because those earlier rounds, Devin pretty much closed the books on those earlier rounds, a lot of those earlier swing rounds. You got to give it to the champion. You cannot just give it to the other man. So, yes, by the time Lomachenko figured out Devin Haney, this fight pretty much was just like the Teofimo fight. By the time Lomachenko figured out Teofimo Lopez, Teofimo already had enough rounds in the books. Same thing here. By the time Teofimo figured out Devin Haney already had enough rounds in the books. The exact same outcome. Exact same outcome. Okay? Devin Haney already had enough. The thing about this particular fight was the rounds of Devin Haney versus Lomachenko was much closer than the Teofimo versus Lomachenko. Teofimo clearly won those rounds. That's why it was no controversy. Whereas these particular rounds are so close, you know what I'm saying? You pretty much, all right, either fighter could have won this particular round. And that's where all the controversy come at. But in close rounds like that, you got to give it to the champion. Devin Haney, and of course also because of what he did yesterday with pushing Lomachenko and being the bigger dude, he's now pictured as a villain. He's the guy that everybody wants to see lose, like Floyd Mayweather. He is just captured that image. So a lot of people want to see him lose. You know what I'm saying? But let me go back into what I was saying. So last night, if you had to really look at this shit and see exactly what's going on, those last few rounds, Lomachenko figured out Devin Haney and figured out what he was doing. If you watch the fight, you will see where Devin Haney went back to his corner and told his dad that Lomachenko knew what he was doing. And Devin Haney had no answers for that shit. I mean, that left hand kept on coming in, landed on Devin Haney, bro. And Devin Haney had no answers. Devin Haney did not make any fucking adjustments. He did not make the necessary adjustment that was needed. And that's the situation that really hurt him. You got to know how to make adjustments on the fly when you're a boxer. He got to have some type of power, some type of equalizer there that'll keep somebody off your ass. I know he got some power. We can't say he don't have no power, because if he would have some power, Loma would have been walking him down from round 1 all the way to round 12. And that wasn't definitely the case. But as long as Devin Haney was coming forward and landing those body shots, he was kind of like stopping, kind of hurting Lomachenko. But soon as it looked like Devin Haney, either he got a little fatigue, or once Loma figured out his game, he just wasn't that same guy. He wasn't landing the body no more. He wasn't following the game plan like he was following. And I kept on saying to myself, press forward, press forward, press forward. Loma was getting all the success coming forward, and Devin wasn't pressing forward, and that was a big issue there. Lomachenko kept on closing the distance, and we all know once you close the distance, that's your ass. You're giving them rounds. Iceman said, "I'm sorry, Lomachenko didn't say that. He said he was clearly winning the fight and gave him the 12th. Man, yeah, he did, brother. I know what I heard, bro. Like I said, I'm going to watch this shit again. I don't give a damn. I'm watching this shit again. Skywalker said I had it 7-5 Loma because of cleaner shots and effective counters. I didn't see Loma head snap back as much as Haney, but those swing rounds, you got to give to the champ. That's what I was saying all last night, all this morning. You got to give it to the champ. You know anything about boxing, bro? Those swing rounds, you got to give it to the champ. Yes, Loma did have some success in those later rounds. You can't say he didn't. You know, he said, and still. Nah, ain't no and still and still. Get it right. Y'all wrong for that shit, man. We ain't doing this shit. Yeah, we ain't doing this here, bro. We not doing that. At the end of the day, y'all seeing what y'all seeing. Devin Haney has to move up to 140, bro. This 135 shit and struggling to make weight is not gonna work for him. If he goes in there and fight one of them other lions, it's not gonna be good for him. He has to go ahead and move up. He needs to let those straps go and move up. They can contest whatever the hell they want to contest, but at the end of the day, Devin Haney has to just move up and let that shit go because he did a great job, and I salute him. I salute his father, but I'm gonna tell you like this here. He's one lucky man because those judges. I said to myself before the fight, if it goes to the judges that close, they were gonna give it to Loma, and it didn't. They gave it to him. That fight could have went either way, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was thinking it was gonna be when they first announced 116, 112. First of all, nobody won that shit clearly like that. That 116, 112 is some bullshit. That's number one. Either fighter, no. When I heard that, I said, all right, the fix is in. And I thought it was going to go the other way. But when they said 115, 113, that sounded just like it. And they had it all the way for Haney. And I was like, wow, okay. But the 116, 113 threw me off. You know, and like I said, man, Haney did enough. The champion did do enough. It wasn't, you know, I can't say that it was a robbery. It wasn't a robbery. The champion did do enough. You had to been watching boxing all your life to understand that, bro. You got to beat the champion to be the champion. You can't edge the champion. What the fuck you talking about? Edging the champion. You can't edge the champion. It's never been like that. Iceman, I understand what Shakur said. Shakur is gonna say that because Lomachenko is with the same promoter as him. And it would have been a big ass fight for him to fight Lomachenko. And he already knows, Shakur Stevens already know that Devin's gonna move up. And once Devin move up, the belts are gonna be scattered all over the place, and he has to fight one by one to get each one of those belts. So it would have been a easy pipeline for him to fight Lomachenko next for undisputed. But by Devin winning, he doesn't have the opportunity anymore. So of course, he's gonna say what he said. It's just what it is. Scott Walker said, Nick, you think Haney easy work for Shakur or Tank? Man, the way he was getting hit last night by Loma, it won't be good for him to get hit like that by Tank. I'll definitely say that. And Shakur, I mean, Haney got to have some pepper, man, in there to back some of these dudes up, bro. He needs a strength and conditioning coach once again. I wouldn't recommend either one of those fights for him right now, bro. I'm just being real. Yeah, 115, 113 is a great score. Definitely what I'm going with. But I wouldn't recommend any one of those scores for him. I think Haney did enough to win the fight. He did seal a deal. I hate the whole controversial thing because now it's, all these arguments and all these trying to debate, who really won the fight. And motherfuckers got to understand, close rounds, swing rounds, bro. Who you going to give it to? You got to give it to the champion, bro. Fighting in spots and fight only the last 15, 30 to 15 or the last few minutes of the fight, last few seconds of the fight, don't give you the round. That's bullshit. The judges probably saw right through that, bro. You cannot just fight the last few seconds of the round and throw a couple of fucking combinations and think that they're going to give you the round because of that. And a lot of the fans are sitting there listening to the commentary. That was some bullshit commentary, bro. Joe Tessitore is not ever commentate no fight. Joe Tessitore, man, Lomachenko could have did anything last night. And he was screaming, "Oh, Loma!" Dude, that was disgusting. That was disgusting behavior by Joe Tessitore. That was disgusting behavior, bro. It was disgusting. Tim Bradley, disgusting behavior by Tim Bradley. I mean, come on, bro. It was hard to giving Devin Haney any props for anything that he did last night. It was a definitely a Loma commentating. They was definitely commentating for Loma. This is the most talked about subject for the next week in boxing. Everyone forgot. Yeah, Katie Taylor lost, but I didn't watch that fight. I have to rewatch that fight today, and I'm gonna probably do a video on that one too. I gotta watch it, bro. I didn't watch it yesterday. I was at work yesterday. Um, they say that was another close one that could have went either way. They said that was another close one, and guess what? After I watch, because I'm gonna watch both of these fights again, but after I watch that one, I'm gonna speak about it, and I'm gonna compare that fight to this fight, and why that one's not a controversy, but this one is. That's a great conversation. But nah, it was a great thing, man, just to watch. Back to the subject at hand, just to watch how Haney was fighting Lomachenko. Haney had a great game plan to begin the fight. Let me say that. One and foremost, he had a hell of a game plan, and he was doing what he was supposed to do. And it wasn't until later on in the fight where he just seemed that he just wasn't sticking to it, and he was allowing Loma to come on. You see, he was allowing Loma to come on. See, when he was hitting Loma with those fucking body shots, that's when he did a lot of his scoring. That's when he was doing a lot of his scoring. He was catching Loma, bro. He was doing what he was supposed to do. And the judges saw it, man. The judges, I got to give it to those judges. Even though two of those judges I was pissed off with last week because how they scored Rolly fight. I think this week I would have to say they had it correct this week. Whichever judge had the 116, 112, he didn't have that correct. But the 115, 113 definitely was a correct scoring. Definitely was not a robbery. Shit was not a robbery. We're not gonna call it a robbery. That's one of those words that we're not gonna use. We can't see when you use those type of words like that in fights or instances like that, you take the thumb off of it when it really happens. When it really happens, they was, oh, that's them screaming robbery again. In this instance, it was definitely not one of those. It was not one of those freaking instances. And I agree with you, man. Bradley's definitely a hater. Tim Bradley's definitely a freaking hater. He wasn't even a good fighter back in his days. He had a lot of wars. If he wants to talk, if Tim Bradley wants to talk, I don't think Tim Bradley beat Pacquiao any of those fucking fights. So if he wants to talk, that was some huge controversial fights where I felt like Pacquiao won, but they gave it to him. So he can't say shit his damn self. His wins versus Pacquiao, he needs to revisit that shit. Because me personally, fight 1, 2, or 3, I didn't think he won any of those fucking fights. So he need to revisit his bullshit. So he can't talk, bro. He got the same controversial wins. He got what they call gifts too. This shit happened in boxing, bro. To where, you don't use robbery. If you want to say, you know what, hey, the judges had it right, or hey, the judges may have given them a gift. And the only reason why I say if you want to use the word gift, I'll say because I believed, and I said it my entire time before the fight even happened, if this shit go to the judges, they're gonna cheat. They're gonna cheat Haney and give it to Loma. And everybody, I think, expected that same thing. I think most people expected Haney to lose because they expected the judge to give it to Lomachenko. And when it didn't go that way, they automatically said, you know what? Shit, this motherfucker, them and Haney gonna lose because it went to the scorecards. It went all the way to 12. And in the show that Loma was putting on in those later rounds. So automatically they felt like, shit, he's putting on this nice show for us in these later rounds. We got to give it to him. Nah, bro, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. I don't give a fuck what you did in the later rounds. Yes, you know what I'm saying? It goes by what you did in all 12 rounds. We're scoring it round by round. So everything you did throughout the fight matters, bro. It matters. This fight is being scored round by one. We're going to count what you did in round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we can't just say, oh, because Loma ended the fight looking better, he won the fight. And I think that's what a lot of people's looking at. They looking at who won the fight who ended the fight looking better. Yeah, Loma ended the fight looking better. He ended the fight looking stronger. He ended the fight looking like the more better fighter. Like he had Devin Haney down pat. But we can't forget what Devin Haney did to begin the fight, bro. We can't forget what Devin Haney did the first half of the fight. Because when you watch the first half of the fight, you know what you say? Oh man, Devin Haney got him. Devin Haney game plan is working. So you gave it to Devin Haney. But then once you get to the last end of the fight, the last half of the fight, you start saying, oh shit, Loma's coming on. Loma has computed Devin Haney, and he's figured out Devin Haney. And once he figured out Devin Haney, he started getting him, bro. Devin Haney had no answers, bro. Devin Haney couldn't make the necessary adjustments, and that shit hurt him. If Devin Haney's gonna fight these champions, he has to know how to make these necessary adjustments. He has to know how, once the motherfucker figure you out, how to change your game plan and how to adapt to what's going on right then and then. That's what we call biting down, grit. You have to show that shit, bro. You know, you got to bite down, bro. And this is one of his biggest testaments to his career. And I think that he did enough to seal a deal. I think people are still not going to give him his just due because of how he won, because of the controversial win. I think that, you know, they're going to give him an asterisk, which is not cool. And I don't like that shit, bro. I mean, the man did enough to win. And we have to give him his flowers, bro. I think, remember, he could have just dropped the belts and moved up. Instead, you know, this young lad stuck around and fought the best at 135 in lightweight division. He fought the best, which is Lomachenko. So today, in your pound for pound, what are you going to do, bro? What are y'all going to do? Are y'all not going to move him up? Or are you not going to give him his flowers? Or are you not going to? What are you not going to do? Because when I look at BoxRec, it says Devin Haney was the winner. So if Devin Haney beat the guy who was better than Muhammad Ali, that's one of the best fighters of all time, what you gonna do with Devin Haney now? Where are you gonna put him at in your pound for pound list? What are you gonna do with him now? That's what I want to know. You know, that's what I want to know. That's what I want to do. I'm gonna definitely rewatch it, Skywalker. I'm gonna rewatch both of those fights. I got to, bro. That's what I do. You know, I always rewatch fights. And have I ever changed my decision after rewatching it? Hell yeah. Especially when I turned the commentating off, because I'm gonna tell you, last night was a horrible commentating. Shit, if you was just a fair weather fan, dude, fucking casual, man, you got Lomo scorching Devin all 12 rounds if you listen to that commentating. I'm gonna be straight up with you, bro. If you was a casual, bro, you got Lomo beating Devin round 1 through 12. Devin get no fucking rounds because those kind of commentating pretty much dictated that shit. You had to know better. You had to know better, bro. Because them dudes, that commentating, that fucking panel, that Joe Tessitore guy, shit. If Loma wasn't paying him, or if he wasn't a fucking huge Loma fan, I don't know what the hell he was, bro. Because he was screaming the way he was screaming out Lomachenko's name, bro. It was unlawful, bro. I mean, shit. But man, it was a hell of a fight. When you talk about great scraps, I say this goes down as one of the great scraps of the year. I will also say that too, that this fight was very meaningful for the lightweight division, because now, you know, Devin got the opportunity to move up and do what he has to do, and relinquish the belts. He has the opportunity to do that. So now everybody can actually start fighting for these particular belts. Devin Haney need not stay in this division. He needs to go ahead and go about his business. Skywalker said it was obvious winner with Chantel Cameron, but definitely a war. Yeah, Katie Taylor fights are always wars, bro. So definitely want to see it and see how she lost this particular fight. But you already know how it is. That particular fight gonna be a rematch, and Katie Taylor gonna come back and beat her ass. Remember I said that. Back to the topic at hand. Yeah, this is a more meaningful fight than the than the Tank Ryan fight, because it basically was for lightweight supremacy right here. And I think Devin Haney did enough to win this particular fight. I think at this point now, what has to happen is Devin Haney has to relinquish those belts and move up and let everybody in the 135 go ahead and fight for him. I think that, he did enough to win this particular fight. It shouldn't be a controversy. I think that he started the fight off good enough. He put enough rounds under his belt. I think he landed a lot of the cleaner, um, uh, most pronounced shots in that particular round. His game plan was awesome. Um, Haney fighting in spots and landing some combination here and there doesn't win the fight for him, bro. It doesn't win the fight for him. That's my main thing. You said half of my friends had Haney winning, and the other half had Loma. It's great. Yeah, that's just what it is, bro. But people got to watch the fight twice, bro. They got to watch the fight again. It depends on how you watch the fight, where you watch the fight at. A couple of my buddies, I think with me and all my friends, I think it's the same thing. I think a lot of people like to go with everybody else say. Everybody saw the word robbery this morning, so everybody's going with robbery automatically. They're not even watching the fight for themselves or using their own mind. They're just going with what they see. They're just going with what the majority is saying. And that's some bullshit, bro. They can say what they want. They can contest. Team Loma could contest whatever they want to contest. I've never seen any type of decision in boxing being reversed. And in this case, it doesn't make a difference. If they didn't reverse Jack Catterall and Taylor shit, they better not try to reverse this bullshit right here. Straight up. Because that one right there was a clean fucking robbery. This one right here was not a robbery. It was a close fight, and Haney did enough. That's just what it is. But, man, I appreciate everybody for coming out. Make sure y'all hit the like button before y'all check out this motherfucker. Make sure y'all comment. Appreciate you. Don't be silent in this motherfucker. Make sure y'all always comment when y'all in here. Iceman, Skywalk, I appreciate y'all. Just Do, thank you for checking in. Sign, thank you for checking in. I mean, I appreciate everybody who comes in when I'm on this mug, bro. But my main thing is I like to call a spade a spade. And in this instance, bro, we got to say that Devin Haney did enough to win this particular fight. We got to say that, And Lomachenko, bro, it just wasn't your night. If you would have computed this shit and came on earlier, I think that you would have gotten this one. But it didn't work out for you because of the length of time you took to compute it and figure it out. By the time you figure it out, Devin had enough rounds in the bag. And once he had enough rounds in the bag and you coming on, I mean, it was too late. It's the exact same thing he did for Teofimo Lopez. He took his time. I ain't gonna say he took his time, but he took him too long to figure it out. You got 6 rounds to figure out a motherfucker, or really 5 rounds. You got 5 rounds to figure out somebody. 5 rounds. If you figure them out within 5 rounds, you got enough time to come back and win the next 7 rounds to win the fight. If you figure it out after 6 rounds, it's kind of late because the person got 6 rounds on their belt. All that person need now is 1 more round, and that person got you beat. You know what I'm saying? That's the situation. You don't want to do that. You don't want this person to have 6 rounds and all of a sudden, all right, you figure them out later on, and now, it was kind of too late for him, bro. And it was a hell of a fight. I take my belt off. I take my hat off to him. Lomachenko did a lot, bro. He got some good work in there. I got to give it to him. He got some good work in there. But Devin Haney last night was his night, and he was able to retain his undisputed championship. And he did enough to win. It was no robbery, bro. Clearly, no robbery. There was no robbery here. And again, make sure y'all hit the like button on y'all way out. And with that being said, y'all know who it says. Y'all already know what it says. Nick will be in boxing, and I'm out. And I'm out. Yeah. Peace. Yeah.